What's the wildest place you've ever explored? And what's the most exotic place you'd like to see at least once in your lifetime? In an era where traveling around the world is easier than ever, our thirst for adventure is capable of taking us to faraway places much out of our comfort zone. And if you are one of these adventurous souls, you probably have the Amazon on the list of places you'd want to see, if of course you haven't already been there yet. The Amazon is indeed a very beautiful and exotic place, but keep in mind it's also home to some of the most deadly creatures on Earth. That's why today we're going to be looking at 10 of the deadliest river monsters of the Amazon. I'm going to be showing you some animals that you'll definitely want to avoid during your visit to the South American River. Stay with me all the way to number 1 and I'll show you a very, very deadly animal. I'm sure you've seen a version less dangerous of this creature, but nothing you've seen compares to what I have here. Number 10. Bullet ants. The bullet ants. We've actually talked about them quite a bit on this list, so you know they must be important. One of the things that scares us the most about insects is getting stung by one. Just ask anyone who's been stung by a honeybee and they'll tell you how bad it can hurt. Sure, it stings, but generally it clears up after a little bit. However, that pain is nothing compared to the venom-filled sting from a bullet ant. That hurts about 30 times more than a bee. These massive ants of about 3 centimeters long are probably the insect that can cause the most pain to humans. When it comes to the Amazon, you can find them around Brazil, Colombia, and Peru, at the bottom of trees. They're known to be in lowland areas, but every now and then they're found in a place of high altitude. If you venture into the Amazon, you'll likely see them, but don't worry, their venom won't kill you. It only has a neurotoxin that causes severe pain, burning, and even swelling. Honestly, you'll kind of wish you were dead at that point. Still, this pain can last for about 24 hours, so you definitely want to stay out of their way. It has been said that getting stung by a bullet ant is very similar to being shot. Guess that explains why they call them like that, though. Number 9. The Giant Centipede. Another returner for this list. If you love insects, I have another one for you, the Giant Centipede. And just how giant is this giant insect? Well, it can be anywhere between 25 to 30 centimeters long. Just think about those rulers you use in your math class to measure stuff, and that's how big these creatures can be. These insects are so massive that they have no problem killing small birds, lizards, mice, and even small snakes. Usually, insects are the most vulnerable animals out there, but it seems like the giant centipede is not messing around. This insect is definitely not at the bottom of its food chain. They wrap themselves around their prey and eat it while this one is still alive. Humans are way bigger than these giants, but still a bite from one of these insects can cause you a lot of pain, fever, and chills. Also, it'd be like a scene out of a horror movie to see this thing running at you with its millions of legs. Number 8. The Brazilian wandering spider. It shouldn't surprise us that the deadliest spider in the world is on this list. I mean, where else in this world would we find a deadly spider than the Amazon? Its Greek name is Phonotria, which translates to murderers, and that's exactly what these spiders are. While common spiders spend their day working on their webs to patiently catch their prey, these spiders use their time to wander in the jungle looking for someone to bite. They're very common finds in the Amazon rainforest, but they only come out at night while they spend their daytime hiding. For that reason, when disturbed by humans, these spiders will bite multiple times. One of their more interesting features is that they lift their bodies on their hind legs whenever they feel threatened. I guess I'd be the one feeling threatened if I ever saw a spider standing like that. The venom of these nocturnal creatures can cause swelling, a ton of pain, breathing, and vision problems. People bitten by spiders should seek medical attention as soon as possible. There is anti-venom available to help the people bitten by it. Otherwise, the bite could cause the death of the victim, especially when it comes to young children. Number 7. South American rattlesnakes. Since we're talking about the Amazon, I guess it's worth pointing out the differences between reality and fiction. After all, the place is so popular that it's been displayed on many movies that show a lot of scary animals that would make us want to stay away from it. One of these movies is Anaconda, where we see a huge snake going after the lives of some explorers in the Amazon River. However, there is no record of such snakes in the real-life Amazon, but still, there's another snake out there that is quite scary and even deadly. The South American rattlesnake, to be precise. You can find these snakes in drier areas of the Amazon in Brazil and Colombia. They can be as big as 1.5 meters long, and they're known for their stripes. In fact, there are 9 different kinds of rattlesnakes in the Amazon, and the only thing that makes them different from one another is the color of their skin. These colors is what allows them to camouflage with their surroundings, making it very hard for anyone to spot them. However, you don't have to worry about them jumping on you for no reason. They're only going to attack you if they feel threatened, but bear in mind that one bite can cause blindness, paralysis, problems related to hearing, and ultimately, well, death. I guess a trip to the Amazon will require us to be as cautious as we can, because we don't want to provoke these deadly reptiles. Number 6. Red-bellied piranhas. And here's another animal that's become popular thanks to the movies, the piranha. Do you remember those films in which a bunch of swimmers got attacked by piranhas? It was pretty gory and probably not the best film of its time, but one thing is for sure, that film showed us how aggressive piranhas can be. Of course, attacks on humans are not as popular as it was shown on the big screen, but piranhas will definitely mess with humans if there's no other animal to feed from, especially during the dry season. With their huge jaws and razor-sharp teeth, the piranhas are likely to attack anything that's within their range. Their food items usually include fish, insects, crustaceans, but they also do vegetarian meals like algae and seeds. If they want to, they're capable of stripping the flesh of an animal in a short period of time. While group attacks are not as common as media portrayed it, they still come together when they're starving or if they're provoked. Number 5. The electric eel. Next on this list, I have an animal that looks very harmless and calm from far, but it can actually cause a lot of damage. Although they're called electric eels, they actually belong to the family of knifefish. You can find them in the Amazon River, and of course, they're named after the fact that they can produce a significantly large amount of electric charge. They can reach a length between 1.8 to 2.5 meters and a weight of about 20 kilos. Their bodies are capable of producing an electric charge of 600 volts, which is way above the threshold of electric charge that anyone can handle. They use this feature to protect themselves from any animals that might mess with them. There are not a lot of documented attacks on humans, but obviously a couple shocks from this animal can easily make your heart collapse. Number 4. The Jaguar. And now it's time for an animal that is quite different to the other animals I have on this list. However, it is quite popular and you've probably heard of it, the Jaguar. While they are indeed scary and certainly deadly, the jaguars are some of the most endangered animals that live by the banks of the Amazon River. They can be close to 2 meters long and reach a weight close to 135 kilos, which makes them the largest member of their feline family, and that includes lions, pumas, and even tigers. You can spot them in the Amazon rainforest, but you can also see them in Asia and Africa. What makes them score high on this list is their bite, which is strong enough to pierce through a skull. Don't expect to see them in groups as they prefer a lonely life. They like to hunt in the first and last hours of sunlight with sudden attacks, taking their prey by surprise. More than likely by the skull. Number 3. Black caiman. We all know alligators can be quite threatening, but nothing compares to the black caiman, which is one of the largest alligators on Earth, and of course it lives in the Amazon. The black caiman is in fact one of the most powerful creatures out there, as it can easily eat most animals, including a lot of the ones we have on this list. Piranhas, otters, dogs, snakes, you name it. The black caiman will trap them with its strong jaws and pull them down underneath the water to drown them and swallow them as soon as possible. However, what if some animals are too big? Well, the black caiman's really patient, because they'll wait for them to decompose and then bite them to pieces. Charming. Unfortunately for us humans, black caimans have actually attacked many of our kind. But it is said that we're only in danger when this predator is more than 4 meters long. That's kind of a relief, I suppose, if still disturbing. I guess we don't have to worry if the black caiman is small. Perhaps bring a thing of measuring tape just to make sure. And then again, there's no time for that. Just run away if you ever see one of these, at least if you have the time. Now it's time for the day's best pick. The picture I have for you today shows this beautiful river and something that approaches underwater. It looks like a snake, doesn't it? While we already saw one snake on our list, there is another one I want to talk to you about. Number 2. The green anaconda. That's right, we can't keep this repeat of our list off of this one. Again, let me remind you, the real-life snake is nothing like the ones you've seen in those crazy movies, but still, they're pretty long and big. A green anaconda can be as big as 9 meters long and 250 kilos in weight. Mind you, that's about 3 times the size of an average human being. They are found in different wet environments, including the Amazon River. In fact, they love water so much that they usually spend their time underwater, swimming in rivers and marshes, using the eyes and nostrils at the top of their heads to breathe and stay on track. While they are not venomous, they are big enough to coil themselves around their prey so strongly that it'll keep them from breathing. Once their prey is dead, they go ahead and swallow it. Some of their preferred meals include turtles, fish, deer, and even the caiman. While there are only a few reported cases of anacondas attacks on humans, none of those attacks have been verified. Still, I don't think any of us would want to mess around with a snake that is 3 times bigger than us.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. If you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it, it really works.
Number 1. The poison dart frog. Another repeater for our list. Some people hate frogs and some people love them. I don't think there really is an in-between, am I right? However, the frog at the top of this list is one that you should probably avoid at all costs, whether you love them or not. They're called the poison dart frogs, and they can be different colors such as red, blue, green, or even a bright shade of gold, which, by the way, is the most poisonous of them all. They have enough venom to kill 10 humans, but that's not really a surprise. If there's something about biology you should learn today, it's that bright colors are there to warn us about danger. Just get away from anything that is too bright. That is quite literally the voice of nature telling you to stay away from that creature. Any animal that attempts to eat the poison dart frog ends up with problems such as muscular paralysis, nausea, and ultimately their own death. Of course, as humans, we would never try to eat one, but just touching one can cause you pain, cramps, and stiffness, so I would still stay away if I was you. And that's our video for today, folks. What do you think of the creatures on this list? What's the most intriguing and what's the most scary for you? Are you now ready for a trip to the Amazon River? Let us know in the comment section below. With all that said and done, that's our video for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time. Later, everybody.